Welcome to Film Riot. Today we're looking at trailers. We're looking at some recent trailers that have come out that I like, that I want to look at and talk about. Why? I don't know, because I wanna. So let's do it. First trailer we're looking at, and like all the trailers we're going to look at, were really Super Bowl trailers for the most part, with a few exceptions. Just trailers from the Super Bowl that got me excited about them, or trailers that said there was going to be a trailer that came out the next day, which is just a weird thing. But the point is, they all came from around the Super Bowl. First one is A Quiet Place, which is the second trailer from this film, which is directed by John Krasinski, starring him and Emily Blunt, and it looks really interesting. Of course, it's a post-apocalyptic thriller, which we have seen a lot of stuff like this before, but I really love the mechanism of silence that they're using here, that they have to be completely silenced, or whatever this thing is, which they're not really showing us, which seems to be some kind of a monster movie, is going to hunt them down. I really like John Krasinski as a talent. I like him as a director and an actor, so I'm very curious to see this one, and the trailer does paint the picture of a very interesting film with a really solid tone. So all those things combined, I want to see it on April 6th when it comes out.
So this is it. It's all been leading to this. Ready? Let's go.
Next is Avengers Infinity War, which comes out in May, starring everybody who ever existed in the Marvel universe. It's a Marvel movie. You guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of superhero movies. I do enjoy them and I watch them, but I don't get crazy excited for them. But I really do love what the Russo brothers have done with the films that they have directed. I think they're fantastic when it comes to action and blocking those sequences to create something really exciting. And I'm pretty interested to see how they're going to bring all of these worlds into one. You have like every character ever, and I'm not really sure how you juggle that much stuff going on at once without it having that very difficult problem of too many ingredients in the stew, which you see often with big blockbuster franchises. They just try to make it bigger and bigger to where there's just too many things happening and it just doesn't work. So I'm curious to see how they're going to make it work, but I do think that the Russo brothers are going to be able to do it, and the trailer looks pretty cool.
Something's coming.
It's the T-Rex. It's the T-Rex.
Stop. It's not a T-Rex.
Blue, come with me. You know you can't stay here.
Jurassic World, The Island.
You're all right. Easy, girl.
All of that is in the past.
Am I dead? Not yet, kid.
Then we have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is the second trailer for this one. And I gotta be honest, after the first trailer, I was pretty worried about this movie. But after the second trailer, I'm a whole lot more interested in seeing it. I think it looks like a lot of fun, which is really all I'm looking for from these movies anymore, is just dinosaurs chasing people and it being fun. It looks like they're adding some interesting elements that we haven't seen before, which is nice. Looks like it's gonna have a really great sense of humor. And there's definitely some very interesting shots in there that has me excited for the tone overall. This one is also directed by J.A. Bayona, which is another reason I'm really interested to see this one. He directed A Monster Calls and The Impossible, and I just think he is an insanely talented director, so I'm really curious to see what he does with something like this, because in all of his films, character and story it's always the most important in there, and really getting you to connect with those characters and care on what journey they're on. So I am excited to see what a man like that is going to do with a film like this.
I was born into war, bred into it. People think they understand pain, but they have no concept of it. What's the most pain you've ever felt? Maybe the kind that leaves you more machine than man.
Wait, no, stop! What in the actual ass? Dale, why are the visual effects not done? It's a metal arm. It's not like we're trying to remove a mustache. I'll do it myself.
Then we have the trailer for Deadpool, directed by David Leitch, who also worked on the John Wick films, and I think it looks better than the first one. It looks hilarious. The action looks like it's going to be amazing, and I love how they handled the trailer. I think the way that they go about making these films is the absolute perfect way to handle a superhero film, and Ryan Reynolds was absolutely born to play the Deadpool character. I love how tongue-in-cheek it all is, and then it turns around and does something incredibly badass. It juggles tone in a very impressive way. I really dug the first one, and it seems like this one is going to even be better than that, so I'm excited to see what they do with it overall. The whole green screen arm into the Toy Story bit had me laughing really hard. I love you, Ryan Reynolds. I love you.
We all have our own problems. Our own issues.
Then we have the Venom trailer, which I am really excited about this. Yes, it is another superhero movie, but aren't they all superhero movies anymore? But this one is Tom Hardy basically playing an anti-hero with multiple personalities, and that sounds like just the most amazing thing to me. Tom Hardy is incredible. Everything he does is fantastic, and him playing a character like this is really exciting, at least to me. So I've been very curious to see a trailer on this one, but the trailer came out, and for me, it was really disappointing. Not that the film is going to be bad, but the trailer didn't really show anything. It just felt like a bunch of shots thrown together to music. The only takeaway I have is a car flipped with a motorcycle driving in front of it. That's really the only takeaway I had. I feel like they could have condensed this a lot more and done something a lot more interesting than what we ended up getting, but we'll have to wait and see more. It's Tom Hardy, so at the very least, it's going to be a great performance from him and worth seeing for that.
I was kicked out of the flight academy for having a mind of my own. I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
Hey, kid. I'm putting together a crew. You in?
That's yes.
Then there's Solo, a Star Wars story, which looks like a Star Wars movie. It looks like a Star Wars movie. I don't know what else to say beyond that. I mean, Lando looks awesome in it. I'm very concerned about the guy playing Solo. We'll have to wait and see. There was rumors about him getting an acting coach. I don't know if that's true, so I might just be pushing a rumor around that isn't even true. I read it somewhere. I don't even remember where I read it. But you have a director switch in the middle of the whole thing. Characters being taken out and put in. You got Ron Howard directing it now. This whole thing has had a lot of turmoil behind the scenes on how the film was even being made, so I'm very curious to see it because of that. It has a really excellent cast. I mean, Woody Harrelson is in it, so that's pretty much all that I need. And then you got Bradford Young as the DP, and anything that he shoots I will watch and salivate over because he is an absolutely insane cinematographer that makes all images absolutely. The dude could film a Gatorade bottle on a desk at noon and it will look absolutely gorgeous. So I do want to see it for those reasons alone, but overall it looks like a Star Wars movie.
Doing?
I find it best not to look.
Then we have the trailer that I was most excited about, which was Mission Impossible Fallout, with Tom Cruise being an absolute maniac as usual, doing all of his own stunts. He broke his ankle in this shot right here, which is in the trailer. You can actually see his ankle going full sideways. There's an interview with him on I believe it's called The Graham Norton Show, which we'll put a link below, where they talk all about that and even show it in slow motion. Tom Cruise talks about how he pulled himself up on the roof anyway and ran off anyway because he didn't want to have to do the shot again. The dude's just completely badass. badass. All this helicopter stuff that you see in the trailer is 100% real. He had to learn how to fly a helicopter to do all this stuff, and it's very tricky stuff. There's a featurette for that, which we'll also put in the notes below, and I just love that stuff. I love real stunts, real action, real things happening in front of the camera, especially when it is action. That way you feel way more connected, and it feels way more dangerous and exciting than when it's all just CG. I do love visual effects as well, but I love them when they are complementing what's happening in front of the camera, not a bunch of actors on green screen and everything's being thrown in after the fact. I just really love actual things happening in front of the lens. I think you connect way more to it. But then you have Mr. Mustachio Superman right here. I love the shot so much. It is so intimidating, and then just how he's hitting this guy is fantastic. I just want to see how he fights in this film. The stunts overall, isn't the only reason I want to see it. Christopher McQuarrie is the director on this one, like he was with the last one. I thought he did an amazing job. That whole opera sequence was one of my favorite block sequences in recent memory. I watched that over and over again just studying it, so I can't wait to see what he does with this film as well.
At the end.
I don't like this. Dad, I don't like this.
What's happening? Peter! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother! Please stop! Mom, what's happening? Make it stop! Make it stop!
I just don't want to put any more stress on my family.
And the final film, which is not a Super Bowl film, is Hereditary. This is directed by Ari Aster. I think I'm pronouncing that right. This is his first feature film. He's just done shorts before this, and it looks fantastic. It's one of my favorite trailers that I've seen in a really long time. I love how they cut this using the music and the sound. I thought it was very creative and really did push the vibe of the film and got me incredibly interested. I love horror films, and this feels like the type that is right up my alley, where it's a little more horror and mystery, not just straight horror. So I'm very excited to see this one with a really great cast as well. So that's just the cherry on top of the sundae. Well, it's not just a cherry on top of the sundae. If it was a bad cast, it would just be a bad movie. But you get the point that I'm trying to make. Domain.com has all your website needs, including .com and .net domain names and intuitive website builders to help you build your identity online. Domain.com is affordable, reliable, and has all the tools you need to build a new website so you can start sharing your ideas with the world. No domain extension is going to help you tell that story like a .com or .net domain name. And if you want to brand yourself online, Domain.com has over 300 domain name extensions to fit your needs, including .club all the way to .space. Of course, Domain.com is showing you love by giving you 15% off their already affordable prices when you get domain names, web hosting, and email. Just use that coupon code FilmRiot at checkout, and when you think domain names, think Domain.com.
Logo.
So that's it for today, which means it's time to talk about what I'm watching or what I watched, which is The Ritual, which just came out on Netflix yesterday. It is a great horror thriller directed by David Bruckner. If you're into that sort of thing, definitely check that one out. And until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.